Hello and welcome back to our final day. Today we are going to be looking at Psalm 75 all the way to Psalm 77. And just going to pick out a few thoughts and feelings about these. There's a lot in these Psalms, and if you look closely enough, they really start reflecting some of the circumstances that we might experience in life and make us think through, how do I react to that as a Christian? How do I react to that as God's child? What am I going to do with all these emotions, all these feelings, all these issues that I'm facing? What is the godly way to react? And one of the things that the first Psalm 75 talks to us about is that God is there for us when He's ready. It's timing. Timing is everything. Now, that's not an easy thing to learn as a Christian. We see in the Bible that God provided, God healed, God did all these wonderful, miraculous things. And we expect God to just do it like that, to do it when we want it done. And yet, the thing that you learn as you grow as a Christian is that God will do things in the way He wants to do them and in the time that He wants to do them, because He'll be waiting for the perfect timing. It's not always our timing, but His timing that is important. He wants to make things happen, but He knows all the circumstances around those happening, and He's waiting for the right time to act. We have to be patient. Oh, okay, yes, we see around us wickedness, we see evil people prospering, but their time will come. Their influence, their power, their wealth, it's all limited. In the grand scale of things, they may have the best of things now, but it won't last. And ultimately, God is in control. God is working everything towards His plans, and we just have to be patient and allow Him to do things the way He wants them done. In Psalm 76, it talks about recognizing God's power, God's might. This psalm particularly was written when there was invaders coming in, and a great victory was won in Judah. And it recognised that, circumstances might throw things at us. Life might throw things at us that are unexpected and pretty hard to cope with. But with God on our side, He is all-powerful. He's more than powerful enough to meet those problems, to take us through those issues. In fact, we learn an awful lot more about God in difficult times than we do in happy times. In happy times, we just go about our business, enjoying life, and everything's wonderful. But we don't learn a huge amount about God through that experience. It doesn't force us to grow up as Christians. If everything was easy, we wouldn't feel inspired to learn much. But if things are difficult, what do? How do we handle that situation? Difficulties often drive us towards God. We cry out to God. We need His help. We need His support. And we learn about God's nature through difficulties. I think God reveals a lot of His character, a lot of His nature through the difficult circumstances of our lives. If someone's going through it, and they recognise God's hand in that situation, how much more will they learn from that experience? That's not an easy thing to grasp. It's not a comfortable thing to understand. But there's a lot of truth in that. That when we're suffering and we're crying out to God, it's drawing us closer to God. It is helping us to experience more reliance on God. We need to surrender ourselves more to God. We need to be more obedient to God. And through that problem, it becomes, in many ways, a blessing. That doesn't sound very logical. Problems do not equate to blessings. But it's going through that problem and seeing how God acts and works and functions in our life, that we get a blessing from that. We see who he is, what he's like, how much he loves us, how much he cares for us, how much he's there for us, and how much we can rely on him no matter what we're going through. That's the beauty of going through difficult times. And we don't want to, say, yes, come on, difficult times come our way, but the reality is they do help us in our relationship with God. Now, they might, difficulties might provoke doubts. And in Psalm 77, it recognises that. You might have doubts. You might say, well, where is God in all this? And what is the problem? What can I recognise God in this? And it's difficult at times. But God is still God. The sun is still beating down, even though there are clouds in the way. There might be obstacles to seeing God in action, but he's always there. He's always in control of what's going on. He's always ultimately sovereign. Now, he might permit problems to come our way. He might permit the clouds to cover the sun's light. But there's still life, there's still hope, there's still provision. And we need to just remind ourselves of the blessings that he provides us, the times that he's been there for us, and to remember that he is trustworthy for the long haul, for the long journey, that he's worth putting your trust in, because he's going to be there for us. He's going to support us. He's going to send people our way to help us. He's going to speak into our lives. He's going to show and reveal something about himself through the difficult times. We might feel at times that we come to a dead end, that there's no way through. This is an impossible situation. But we have a God who loves the impossible. He is the God of the impossible. And somehow he finds a pathway through the impossible situation. He makes a path through a dead end. I don't know how he does it, but he definitely does. And while it might take some time, it might take some effort, he will walk that difficult time with us. And because of that, there's a richness that we can enjoy about his character, about his love, that we'd never discover if our life was easy. We recognise who God is. We praise him forever because we love the fact that he loves us enough to make a difference in our lives. I pray that this week has been helpful to you, that as you read these Psalms, something in it has sparked in your own life, that you recognise that situation that you're going through is just a temporary situation. It's something you can work through with God in your side. May these Psalms encourage you to cry out to him, to say, Lord, rescue me, or walk through this situation with me, because I need your help. And take comfort in the fact that walking through these situations with God will really deepen and enrich your relationship with God and help you to appreciate who he is and what he does in our lives every day of our life. God bless you. I hope you'll have a great weekend, and do come back next week for another week of Take Fives.